Jacob Marley's Christmas Carol by Tom Mula. This is 116 pages and 7 chapters. A really quick description would be an afterlife redemption story in more ways than one. So this was just about 100 pages. The text is really big, the pages are really short, and there's, I don't know, maybe 5 pages of images. So yeah, it was right around 100 pages. I love reading this book. This is one of my all-time favorite books, definitely top 3. I try to read it every year around Christmas and New Year's. It's just really cool. And the major theme is that anyone can change no matter what. So the the assumption here is that readers are familiar with A Christmas Carol. And that is the story of Scrooge, and he's visited by 3 ghosts: the ghost of Christmas past, the Christmas present, and Christmas yet to come. And really, this is the story of, it's the same story, but told from Jacob Marley's perspective. So Charles Dickens wrote A Christmas Carol, and it's a very popular, well-known American Christmas story. And this is the perspective of Scrooge's dead partner. So at the beginning of A Christmas Carol, Jacob Marley is Scrooge's partner and dies, and then comes back to him as a ghost. And then after Jacob Marley leaves, then Scrooge gets visited by the 3 ghosts of Christmas in the middle of the night. And of course, Scrooge at the end, spoiler alert, has a complete and willing change of heart, and is a completely different person, imbued with Christmas spirit. No longer is the bah humbug. He is, a bright and cheery person. So, I think one of the reasons why I like this book so much is because, independent of this, before I had read this book for the first time, my picture of the afterlife was, sitting in an easy chair watching replays of your life from all different angles and stuff like that. I don't know, it's kind of silly, but I also, as a kid, thought that when you blinked, you took a picture, and those were pictures you could review in the afterlife. So kind of silly, kind of fun, and that was part of this book. In the upper atmosphere, after Jacob Marley passes, he has to go through the ghost world, and it's purgatory, but it is the atmosphere. So in this universe, the atmosphere is made up of ghosts, and the ones towards the edge are fixated, or whatever they were obsessed with in life is what they are attached to in the afterlife. So if somebody was a heavy drinker, or couldn't get over an argument with a sibling or something, they would be affixed to those things. So there was somebody in an armchair, so it kind of like tied into my afterlife theory though, so that was kind of fun, kind of silly. But I did really like that. Jumping right in, it's an individual purgatory. So if somebody, each person is different in what they like and dislike. And really, the purgatory was their own prison, or a prison of their own making. So, if greed was their problem, then probably coins and money and cash boxes, that kind of thing. So really neat. I really liked the term boggle, not quite an angel, not quite an assistant, kind of somewhere in between, and really like a helper, and that they are there, as far as the story implies, through, from the cradle to the grave, the whole time they're there, unseen, whispering encouragement and that kind of thing. So I thought that was kind of neat. I really enjoyed that Marley did not control the 3 ghosts. He requested, or the boggle requested them, but that Marley participated but wasn't in charge. It was the 3 ghosts that were, in the driver's seat. So that was kind of fun there. During the Christmas present, the Santa Claus type ghost, the golden threads, the soul bound, that, to me, that was a really cool, interesting concept, that people are bound by something that can't be seen. Do we understand what a soul is, how it works, how people are connected? And I thought it was a really cool take on that. So The Boggles promotion, I don't want to give it away because it is towards the end, but that was super, super cool. I really liked that scene. And of course, the overall message was something I enjoyed. Anyone can change no matter what. Some things I didn't like. There were a few mentions at the beginning that are like meta. So it was like, another author did a much better job of describing Scrooge. So, like, that's a reference to Dickens, right? This guy is writing, a companion to A Christmas Carol. So he's like kind of building off of it. It just, I don't know. It's a Christmas book. Should it be meta? I don't know. It just seemed weird to me. But, it went by fast and it wasn't a showstopper. So, Marley's Past, when Scrooge gets visited by the Ghost of Christmas Past, Marley experiences his own past. And I get why the author did that, right? You don't want to relive Scrooge's past twice, having read it in The Christmas Carol. But I don't know. I just feel like it. I mean, yeah, backstory, you get to learn more about Marley, but I don't know. Like, it didn't feel like, it just didn't feel needed to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm not a great storyteller, but it just felt off to me. I also didn't like the stealing from each other within the law, the Marley and Scrooge. I'm trying to think of a reason behind it, and the only thing I think of is maybe that explains why Scrooge is in Marley's house, maybe. But it just seemed like, yeah, they could be unscrupulous, but if they're business partners, would they then steal from each other too? It just didn't seem right to me. But I don't know. I don't run a business, so. Yeah, those were the things I didn't like about this book. But yes, top 3. This is one of my favorite books. It's a quick read. I like to read it around New Year's. The new year ahead, changing, and New Year's resolutions and all that. So this is by far the book that I've read the most. So it's pretty short and it's definitely worth your time. So buy your books used when you can.